Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing great. Wait, what is today? Thursday. Happy Thursday. My days are rolling into one. This is Petal. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, this is a channel that supports the deep industry of SUSSEX. Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, Paul and Vic community, and all of us here. And so I am just happy to be able to hang with you guys, do a live show. I haven't been able to do one all week because I have been working on this new project that has been a little crazy. So I am happy to be able to hang out with you. It's from Monday to a Wednesday, but this week it was Monday to Tuesday to Thursday because Monday was a holiday. So that is why. But I am happy to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, let me pull down the music a bit and just jump in the chat to see who is here. Let's just pull this down all the way. There we go. And shut this off our inner space music. And hi, Lydia is here. Awesome. Moderator Lydia is here, and Robert is here. He is hanging out at the bar, the wine bar in Italy. Hi, Robert. Kenita is here, reminding me that Boris isn't leaving for another 3 months, and I'm like, well, he's already gone in my mind. Let's get rid of the monarchy. I'm a little impatient, as you can tell. And Annie is here, and Karen M, our awesome moderator, is here, and Beverly and Karen and Patricia, Mara and Carolyn, and Sistrin and Rory. Who else is here? Hey guys, Claire is here and Belkis. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a bit. I hope there's going to be a little bit of a background noise today because I'm doing it a little bit later, and when our family is home and we're trying to do it, it could be a little loud. So if you hear any background noise, I'm sorry. I had to teach earlier, and so therefore I have to do this later today. Joyce is here, and Geraldine is here, and Kenneth is here. So again, I apologize for any background noise you hear. Elaine is here. So how are you guys? How is everything? I know madness is going on in the UK. I see the ancestors and Karma are hanging out over the UK there. I'm like, you just stay there for a bit. You just do your thing, play up it all you want. We love that for them. So sorry to you, our wonderful squatties who are there in the UK and have to deal with that mess. So, but we will embrace you and hopefully you feel our love as you deal with the mess that goes on with the government there and the monarchy. So, but anyway, our faves are wherever they are right now, under a tree somewhere. Hope probably in Montecito, or as some people mentioned earlier this week, probably in Wyoming, wherever. As you know, my policy about invasive pictures, I will not be showing those things at all. So, but yeah. Oh, sister says, I'm at work and very busy. I've been missing some live chats. Oh, I'm sorry, sister. I know sometimes if you're working and it's just life just gets in the way sometimes, and you have to miss out on the fun parts of things sometimes. But I'm glad you're here. I hope you don't have to work too late. So yeah. But I'm happy that you are able to join us. Um, Dawn, hi Dawn. Dawn says, hello, Squatty family. Faxon says, happy Thursday, everyone. Boris is on his way. Thank the Lord. And hopefully the monarchy would just follow right behind. As you can tell again, I am very impatient about this. I'm really, 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 really want them to be going. So, oh, lovely to see you too, Sonia. Thank you so much. Hello. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Um, but yeah, some our faves, even though they are wherever they are enjoying themselves, part of their life is dealing with the mess that's in the UK and some of the mess that's been left back there, and that's just gonna rears its ugly head. But our affairs is fighting. At least this is Harry fighting for his rights, for his security, and fighting to uncover all the really the nefarious things that's been going on and behavior that's been going on in the UK in relation to his security. And so we know that today his review has started, and that's a review to basically challenge the government and their removing his security. And as we've talked about, we've done a couple of episodes about this, about what RAVEC has done. That's the organization that's responsible, the government organization that's responsible for royal family security. And we talked at length about this, that the fact that, nobody really knew that the royal family were part of this. We're not shocked because we figured they had something to do with removing Prince Harry's security. Although, the British press and tabloids were always claiming, no, 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 that is not the royal family decision. That's Metropolitan Police decision. And they've been trying to convince people that forever. And we know, we've always believed that that is a lie. Just as we believe, just looking at what they're doing to Prince Harry with his security, that's why I will always believe that, that they lied when they talked about Princess Diana's security. And so we absolutely, I mean, at least I absolutely do not believe that Princess Diana rejected security, and they're all blaming the fact that she didn't have security for what happened to her, when she died. And so the fact that they're pulling this now with Harry really confirms and solidifies my conviction that, yeah, no, I don't believe Princess Diana just said no to that security at all. So so a little bit, let's see. I'm so sorry. Before we get there, what is this you're saying, Star? Hi, Star Reese. Well, she's like, settle as a breath. I can tell you that, alas, the monarchy is going exactly nowhere. Oh, God. Right. Please, people are apathetic yet attached to it. You're right. As much as I hate to admit it, I hate to admit that, that's the truth. But you know what? Look, there are so many things we thought could never happen and has happened. So look, maybe Brit, you on the other side of the pond will shock the world and put a stop to this mess. I think that people are getting to the point where they're just fed up. They're absolutely fed up, and so I just believe that they're gonna rise up at some point when when they've had enough and they've really been hearing the truth pound into them, where the royal family is not as protected as they were. I believe that people are gonna rise up and be like, no, we're not doing this anymore. You can be royalty if you want, but we're not funding you. You know, and then you will know if they really want to be doing and serving as they claim to, devoted their lives to serve. But anyway, a little bit of what is happening today. You guys may have heard. I don't know. I wasn't available earlier, so I didn't hear Baron's podcast. So I don't know if he covered this or not. I'm assuming he would have. But again, Prince Harry is in court, and this is a little bit of what came out of the court. Um, System. Some of this we knew before because when the review, when we heard about the review, when it was leaked earlier in the year, this is some of what is happening. So this is from the Independent. They're reporting of what happened today, and let me just make this a little bit bigger so that way everyone can see it. Actually, there we are. Okay, so hopefully it's not the wording is not too small so that everyone can see what it is, and maybe I can just take off the subscribe thingy scrolling in the bottom there. If you haven't subscribed, just do what that little scrolly thing down there says. Subscribe, hit the notification button, share, help us to build the channel. So we'll hide it for a second so that way it does not block any of the what we're trying to read here. So anyway, so what happened in court today? Some of it from the Independent says Prince Harry did not know members of the Queen's household were involved in the decision to withdraw his permanent security amid tensions over his exit from the royal family, or at least being a working royal, a court has been told. On February 2020, Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and the Public Figures, known as RAVEC, announced that the Duke, his wife, and child would no longer be automatically granted police protection on visits to the UK. The High Court was told that the Duke did not know the committee existed. I mean, yeah, he did not know this committee existed, or that members of the royal household were involved, and believed that it's a decision and believed that its decision were independent. The legal documents filed by his representative said that at the time there were significant tensions between the Duke and the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young. If there had been a fair process, Ravek would or could have reached a different decision. The role of the royal household as equal partner in the process is inappropriate. And absolutely agree with Harry on that. There should be no way that the royal family should have been a part of that. So I am so happy that he is fighting that decision. And also, Newsweek picked it up. I don't usually use Newsweek, but they also they had actually, Stacey Abrams says, clock is right at least once. A broken clock is right at least once a day. We'll use them for today. It says the Duke of Sussex is suing the Home Office for removing his Metropolitan Police bodyguard in the UK. It was revealed that Harry said that he should have been told, on the right, should have been told certain people in the royal household were involved in the committee that made the decision. Among them, Sir Edward Young, who is the one of the Queen, who is one Queen Elizabeth, or one of Queen Elizabeth's closest aides in his role as her private secretary. On the right, Prince Harry also said palace staff did not pass on his offer to pay his police protection to the royals and VIP executive, or Ravek, which took the decision. Among information not passed on, according to a court filing, was Harry's offer to pay for his police protection made to the royals when he was negotiating his way out of the palace in January 2020, when they announced they were leaving. And it goes on, another part says, prior to the decision, Prince Harry was told by the royal household, THR is the royal household, that Ravek was independent. He was not informed that about the composition of Ravek, nor was he informed that the royal household was involved in the decision. And this, I mean, that is just so, for me, despicable. That one, they told him that it was independent. Nobody told him. One, first, he didn't realize that that about this group. What they were always telling us is that, oh, it's just something that the Metropolitan Police is taking care of. They're the ones that are making decisions. They never mentioned about this secret group called Ravek. And not only did they not mention it, Harry, it says, bottom right, highlighted that Prince Harry was told prior to the decision by the royal household that Ravek was independent. That's what he was told. And then he was told he was not informed that they were in Ravek, especially the Queen's private secretary, who Prince Harry has a very antagonistic relationship with. This man has caused a lot of harm to with Harry, and trying to with his relationship with the Queen, as we'll see in a minute. They have a lot of tension there, and the fact that this man is involved with making a decision, who has made so much bad decisions, when it comes to the royal family and the relationships between the house. So much so that in 2020, Prince Edward and Princess Anne wanted him to be fired. Because they felt like he was part of creating tensions and really a lot of controversy between the households. And so I don't know why this man is still has a job. I don't know why the Queen has not fired him. I don't, frankly, maybe because she doesn't have the power to fire him. He was probably hired just by the monarchy, so she doesn't have the. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff there as to why this man still has a job. But one of the reasons is when they fired, I think, what was his name? I think it was Christopher Guide, I guess, was the one that was before him. I don't remember. I could be wrong. But whomever it was before, Charles, and I think it was either Charles and William, or Charles and Prince Andrew wanted that one out, and Prince Charles and him was the ones that got this one in, and so Edward Young in, and so he is a Charles guy. He was instituted there by Charles, and I think if Charles doesn't want him out, the Queen can't do anything about it. And so, yeah. Hi guys, I am so sorry. My internet just literally crashed on me. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Uh oh. Oh no. Can you hear me now? I am here. Oh no. Can you guys, if you could give me a thumbs up that you can hear me? My internet literally just crashed on me. Oh no, Lord. Can anyone get? Okay. Okay, great. Oh, thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh, my internet just literally died. I don't know what just happened. And I thought I lost the entire thing. So thank you. I am so happy. Yeah. Awesome. So, whew, that was weird. Okay, let's let me try to find my slides again that I had. Oh, very, very weird. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Okay. Okay, yeah. So we were talking about this. Okay, hang on one second. Okay. Okay, loud and clear. Fantastic. Okay, so can you guys hear background noise as well? Let me know. Hey, Baron. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Can you hear background noise as well? Let me know if you can hear any background noise because I'm getting some background noise here. So yes, everything that could go wrong is kind of no. Okay, great. So I'm so happy that you're not hearing any background noise. Fantastic. We can actually. Oh no, sound is gone. Oh no, it's okay. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hang on one second, guys. This is just no background noise. I'm fine. Okay, fantastic. I am so happy about that. Okay, good. Let's move on. So, okay. That's what happens when you're trying to do something and everyone is home. So it's like it's craziness. But anyway, we'll move on. So, anyways, one of the things, again, what I was trying to say at the time was that what Harry's offer to pay, as you can see on the right, it says that Harry's offer to pay for his security was not, even though, Edward Young and these guys were all part of the meeting where Harry offered to pay, that was never, passed on to Ravek. They never passed it on. And according to this, it says Harry was also said palace staff did not pass on his offer to pay his police protection for his police protection and VIP committee to and the I'm sorry, to pay for his police protection to the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, Ravek, with his decision, which took the decision. And it's right down on the, again, it says, Harry's offer to pay for his made to the Royals while he was negotiating his way out to that Sandringham summit, that was also not passed on. So when the Daily Mail wrote that article about Harry was lying about offering to pay, there you go. It's one of the reasons they were sued, because Harry did offer to pay for it, and that's one of the reasons Harry is suing the Daily Mail right now because of this. So, but it's so funny with Edward Young. I will never forget this article. Ahmed Scobie wrote about this man, Edward Young, and just the awful things that he has done and why he has this really bad relationship with Harry because of the things that he has done. And Ahmed wrote this earlier this year in the article where he was on the article about when Prince Harry went to visit the Queen, and said he was concerned, and Omid wrote an article saying that Harry had every right to be concerned about the Queen's security. This is what Omid wrote about Sir Edward Young, the Queen's private secretary. He says, when I was interviewing sources for Finding Freedom in 2020, I remembered how my jaw dropped when a friend of the couple gave me a play-by-play account of how the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, went out of his way to prevent the couple from visiting the monarch in Sandringham, one of the only family members the Sussexes felt comfortable talking to ahead of their announcement to step away from royal life. It appears that as hard as Harry tried to arrange a time, his team was informed that the monarch was busy all week. The Queen, despite having been the one to invite her grandson, was told by Young that the once available diary dates were no longer free. And we all remember how they were attacking Harry, claiming that he blindsided the Queen. And we remember in the Oprah interview, Harry was like, no, I didn't blindside the Queen. I tried to see the Queen. She invited us, and then her people are the one that stepped in the way and stopped it. And her people was Edward Young. And again, as Scobie said, it's like he went out of his way to do it. Vindictive, horrible. And this is a man was working with Simon Case and all the others who were a part of that whole friction with Harry and Kensington Palace. They were all played a part in there. And, hopefully karma has its way with Simon Case, who at the moment is working for Boris Johnson, and hopefully he gets relieved of his duties in some way as well. So he's under a lot of fire at the moment. But it's just, I'm telling you, it's unreal to me. There's just the relationship between, especially the Metropolitan Police and the royal family. It's one of the reasons, even when Prince Andrew, they refused to open investigation into Prince Andrew's, at the allegations of him trafficking Virginia, being part of trafficking Virginia and raping her. They refused to open investigations about that. I mean, it's just thing with the royal family. And I mean, when the articles and Harry's team is saying it is completely inappropriate for them, especially this man, to be a part of his security and be a part of making that decision, that should never happen. It is completely inappropriate. And I totally, totally, totally believe that. And Harry was well within his rights to, hopefully he wins this and then the case moves forward. If not, he can appeal. But, of course the government is challenging it. But yeah, it's one of those things that is just, my goodness. And I don't understand. Harry has a great relationship with the Queen, but He's still her private secretary. So I don't even understand why, why she's not putting up a fight to get rid of him. I don't understand the relationships in the royal family. It's just, it's unreal to me. Thank you so much, Baron. I really appreciate your support. Oh, thank you for hanging out with me and for just being here and being so incredibly supportive. Thank you. Um, yeah, let's see what y'all saying in the chat while I'm in the chat and seeing Baron. I appreciate. Um, Star says, I remember the delight of the RR when they could see or were briefed that Harry and Meghan couldn't get to see the Queen. Yeah, it was this double thing. It was this double-edged thing that they were celebrating that, but then on the other hand, they were claiming that Harry and Meghan blindsided the Queen. And it's like, well, pick a struggle. What, are you happy that they can't see the Queen, or are you outraged that they claim, as you claim, that they blindside the Queen, which we know they didn't. But that was the thing. They were using the blindside the Queen to beat on Harry and Meghan. And this man knew the truth, could have spoken up, and of course, did not, and they had that stick. I mean, even in the US, they were even talking about Harry and Meghan blindsiding the Queen, which is so irritating, you know, even though it was broadcast in certain parts of the media that that's not true, but still, that was the thing that Harry and Meghan blindsided the Queen. So yeah, it's just unreal. Um, let's see. Rory says, this is so dispiriting. I'm so glad the divine intervention guided Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan and Archie out of KP, January 2020, just before Rona and March 2020. I mean, it was just, I'm telling you, the hand of the Lord were on these two. I'm telling you, get them out at the right time, just in time, and and get them, also get them out just to be able to, to save their lives, really. To see the kind of mess that is going on in the royal family, it's like I would, just the thought of Harry and Meghan still being there is unreal. So like I am talk about divine intervention. I am so in agreement with that. Um, Byron is funny. Praise help, pedal. I'm like, I I think we should. I think we should. It's so funny. I just appreciate the squad. How the last few days, especially when they were with the whole bullying thing, with the whole you know, the hashtag royal family lies was like trending for days. And so I just appreciate all of us in the squad who have been raising hell, and just making sure that they know that we don't believe any of the nonsense that they come up with. And so yeah. But I am just happy that Harry is not backing down. I'm happy that he is fighting this. I'm happy that he is exposing this, because how many people even knew Ravik existed? How many people even knew that the royal family was part of Ravik? Harry didn't even know, and so people still believe the lies that the royal family had no involvement in who has security and who doesn't, because they've told this lie to people, and that's what the tabloids have been telling people the whole time. Of course, but in the squad we were suspicious because it was like, So this was a confirmation that that whole narrative was a lie, and then it exposes Prince. What happened to Princess Diana. So Rachel says Princess Diana said years ago the men in gray control the monarchy, and she is so correct. They do control the monarchy, and that's why I always question how much influence and how much say the queen actually has. I think they just use her as proxy to hide behind her to do their mess and use her name. But I don't think she has all that much say in a lot of the stuff that they do, including keeping him on. I don't know how she would really be okay with keeping him on after the things that this man has been doing. So yeah, let's see. Karen M., our awesome moderator, says there should never be anyone from the royal family to make decisions on security, especially since Andrew still has his. Awesome point. Exactly. They have no credibility in this area. Andrew has, and not only does he have security, yes, taxpayer funded security, full time security, you know? And, to talk about someone who stepped down, I mean, he has stepped down. He, because of the allegations against him and then paying out money to hush it up, why does he have security? So again, there the government is saying that Harry should only have security, and that he knows he'll only have security when he's doing work for the Queen, or when he comes over for an official engagement to the Queen. But if he comes over with an engagement that's not about the Queen, does that mean his threat level drops? No, it doesn't. And that is the nonsense, and that's why Harry's fighting. So one, I mean, I wish he doesn't go back to that country, but he does have stuff in that country. He does have charities there that he's still a part of, obviously. I mean, the Diana Award, we've been talking about that. So of course he still has to go back there. But it's just, it's unreal to me. Joy says, now we know who told Meghan Archie would not be given a title and security, and that Harley's was going to change the laws for the title. Anything on that Oprah interview has come out as fact. I'm telling you, time and time again, whatever Harry and Meghan have said has been the truth. And, so many people like to say, no, 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 this can't be, this is a lie. No. Just about everything they have said on the Oprah interview has proven true, especially when it comes to the workings of the royal family. So that's why they're all so afraid when they saw, like, and I don't even know that Harry and Meghan went to visit Oprah. They're probably just in the neighborhood. I mean, they're neighbors. They're like, what, 5 minutes away from each other? And, so that's why they're so afraid for a possible second Oprah interview. Unreal. But let's move on. Talking about karma hanging out in the UK. Well, today we got Boris Johnson finally resigns after all the mess that's been going on in the UK, and most of the press has been on it, on his resignation. I mean, after the last couple of days, when look at the headlines in this thing. I don't see how he stood a chance to continue as a prime minister. And so and then not only with this, all of these resignations, even like people who you consider, especially like Kemi, who is kind of like the white supremacist, you know, she's like gatekeeping white supremacy. Basically trying to sell slavery as was a good thing. I mean, I don't even know some. I'm telling you, some black people just really confuse me. I don't even know how you could even come up with such a thing and then try to sell that to people. Like, I don't even understand that thinking. But that is Kemi for you, and Tory MP. So all his MPs and all of those things, including I think, what is that, Javid, that health secretary who has no experience in health in any sense. I think he was a banker, and it was very interesting that what was it, a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, that was exactly the person, him and his team, that Kate Middleton met with to talk about early years. And I'm thinking, why you? I mean, yes, I know he's like the health minister or whatever he was supposed to be, what Boris Johnson appointed him to, but if you are actually a early years person and you really understood what that means, this Javid person is not the person you meet with, knowing this man has no background in health whatsoever, and so that's who Kate Middleton met with, and obviously, what is it, yesterday or whatever, he resigned, and so who knows who she'll meet with next. It's really unreal to me. Again, that really calls out just I mean, the ridiculousness of what the royal family term service, and working with charities and all of those things. I mean, it's nonsense. It values no one. I mean, again, I don't understand. If you really understood what your role is in advocating for child and their health and their welfare, why you would meet with someone who is a banker that has no background. You would have done your homework to know that this guy would sit there, and why? Because you're royalty. Of course he'll sit in a meeting with you and bring his team. Of course. But you would have should have done your homework and know that this guy has no background in this area to know that that would not be an effective conversation to have. Where is he going to take it? You know what I mean? And so, am I shocked that he's resigned? No, not at all. So unreal to me. Yeah. So with all of this stuff, I'm just happy that at least and Kanita was reminding me that, well, he's not really quite gone until, whomever they install as the new, will be the new leader or the new head of the Tory party until I guess the elections. But, I'm assuming they can't be as bad as Boris Johnson. I am assuming. But, who knows? But for me, I'm at this moment and I'm like, look, if Boris Johnson is on his way out, so should the royal family. None of them should be, head of state or anything like that. It's time for people to rise up and get rid of this nonsense. I mean, this. What? Let me just. It's just like I was just. These people need to go. They need to go, especially the nonsense with Prince Charles and all his mess. Like I don't even understand how you can. I know it's hereditary. I know that whole big deal. But how could you be okay with this man being your king and which will be your head of state with all the mess and corruption that Prince Charles was involved in? I don't understand it. But again, unreal. Joy says now we know. Oh wait, I think we saw that. Sorry, Joyce. We just read that one. Let's see. Joanne says the men in gray suits have too much power, but on the other hand, on the other spectrum, what power does Gangan had? I say some because it appears she protects Andy. Well, the thing with protecting Andrew though is really not really. On one hand, you could say it's protection Andrew, but the thing about Andrew is like Andrew knows where all the bodies are buried in the royal family. Figuratively, I don't know if literally, but figuratively knows where all of that he knows where all the skeletons are. So them protecting Andrew is really just protecting themselves. Because if they don't protect Andrew and stuff comes out, trust me, Andrew knows where all those stuff is. So they don't have a choice but to protect Andrew because by protecting Andrew they protect themselves. So I don't really think of it in terms of the queen protect in a way yes, because apparently as they said that's her favorite son. But again, if they don't protect Andrew, if Andrew falls, they do. So yeah, and if Andrew falls, not only they, a lot of people in the press who were also friends of that whole group, that some of them were in Jeffrey Epstein's black book, they all go down. So there you see a lot of times, especially say the Daily Mail and stuff, Gordy Gregg, I think, what is his name is, he was also friends with Ghislaine Maxwell and those. So they're all a part of the same ring of people. So that's why you will see they will attack the Sussexes, but not really. They will say stuff about Andrew, but not really go after him. Why? Because they're all a part of the same circle. So if they don't protect him, they don't protect themselves. So that's why, for me, it's like, yeah, it's protecting Andrew, but no, that's actually protecting the monarchy. So that's how I look at that stuff. And plus, Andrew did a whole bunch of, their Mideast when he was the trade person, trade secretary, whatever he's called. He did a lot of their Mideast negotiations for arms and all of that stuff. Andrew knows a lot of what's going on in the government because he worked for it. He knows a lot, and so again, they all have to protect him because of that. So yeah. Let's see. Anna says, oh, she's talking to Therese. So what on my ankle is he? Oh, wait, your ankle? I didn't know you had a problem with your ankle. Anna says her ankle is healing, but will have a scar. I'm at the hospital with my brother for now. He's going chemotherapy. He's getting chemotherapy. That's right. We were praying for Anna's brother. Oh my goodness, Anna. Much prayers to you. Please, we all could continue doing that. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had a problem with your ankle. So hopefully that heals quickly. Eesh, no fun when you don't have full access to your legs. So much quick healing to you. So yeah, it's many things happening. Dolores says, when the Queen passes, Andrew is going to give Charles and William. Don't be surprised. Again, Andrew knows where all those things are buried. So don't be surprised. Andrew wants back in. And I have a feeling Andrew would do whatever it takes to get back in. But my thing with I'm always of the mind, if you can accept Prince Charles, then you need to accept Prince Andrew because they are the same. Prince Charles is no different. The only difference is we don't have any situation where we know, or at least we know of, where he actually trafficked a minor into the UK and according to allegedly raped that minor. But we do know he groomed a teenager in Princess Diana. She was a teen when they met. He was what 35 years old and she was still a teenager. So we know that part. Was it illegal? No, I don't think that's illegal in the UK, but he still has that. Hello, she's still a teenager. Um, so for me, if you can accept Prince Charles, then you should be able to accept Prince Andrew because why? They're one and the same. Incredibly corrupt, and in the areas of corruption, Prince Charles actually got Prince Andrew beat. So again, I'm like, I don't understand this thing where Prince Charles is being lauded and Prince Andrew is. I'm like, look, they are one and the same to me. So yeah, that's what I think about that one. So, but anyway, moving on. Yeah, it's just the thing with Boris Johnson. That's why I've been like, yep, karma is playing up there because for me, with all of these people who have done and said really awful things about Meghan, it looks like karma has been over there. Like, you know what? I'm gonna put my finger on you. Because we all remember Boris Johnson when Meghan won her case. He was one of, it's like him and his the Justice Secretary Dominic Raab, they were all up in arms about it, wanting to overturn the law that would give the tabloids more rights in invading people's privacy. And so when Meghan this is what happened when Meghan won against the Mail on Sunday. Let's just take Dolores. Thank you so much, Dolores, for your comment. This is what happened when Meghan won. It says Meghan said in a statement, and this was a Meghan statement when she won again. At the time, released to Newsweek, this is a victory not just for me, but for everyone who ever felt scared to stand up for what is right. While this win is precedent setting, that what matters most is that we now collectively brave enough to reshape a tabloid industry that conditions people to be cruel and profits from the lies and the pain that it creates. And we all remember that. And then it says, the Prime Minister's spokesman said in December that Boris Johnson believed in a free press and that Downing Street would study the implications of the judgment, which is the judgment giving Meghan the win. Would study implications of the judgment carefully, as reported by Independent. Now, Dominic Raab, the Justice Secretary, has confirmed long discussed plans to replace the Human Rights Act under which Meghan brought the privacy aspect of her case with a British Bill of Rights. I feel very strongly that the parameters of free speech and democratic debate are being whittled away, whether by privacy issues or whether it's wokery and political correctness. I worry those parameters for free speech of free speech being narrowed. And I'll post a link to the article so you can read it. But it basically, what it goes on to what it talks about is replace the Human Rights Act that Meghan used to sue the Mail on Sunday for privacy. They want to replace that and basically use the British Bill of Rights Act, which gives the tabloids especially more rights where they can invade your privacy with impunity. And they can destroy your life and they can just throw up their hands. Well, it's free speech and you can do nothing about it. So basically they want to take away basically punish the British people for the fact that Meghan won her case. And it's unreal that they, and it's so weird because a lot of people either didn't understand this, they were cheering this. They were cheering the fact that, because one, they thought that it will take away the case, or this case will Meghan will eventually lose the case because of it, and so they have to correct that. No, it doesn't affect this case. This case goes forward as is, but they were celebrating because they thought, with this, they will reverse the ruling and make, for where the Mail on Sunday would win. And some people were like, they were celebrating it, and they don't realize it's like, no, Meghan's win actually gives you rights, and if they use the British Bill of Rights, they will take away your rights to sue them when they invade your privacy. And this is what Boris Johnson was wanting to do. That's what they wanted to do. And, they call it like wokery and all of that. And it's just like, but anyways, I'm just glad that those people, all of whom were coming for Meghan, karma is coming their way. And I'm just very much interested in that. And it's funny to me watching this. I'm talking about, free speech for the press, and yet it's been the press in the last couple of days really ramping it up on Boris Johnson. We know he used to work for the glorified tabloid Telegraph. So the very press that he was lauding, wanting to give them more freedom to invade people's privacy, have been the one the last few days, especially championing him going out the door. So good, karma. I'm very happy about that. So yeah. Rory said, "Oh, sorry, Rory. Bold to dash. Not sure what you mean there, Robert." Says Rob means free speech of the tabloid. I hope the British citizens would fight for their rights. This is a conservative autocracy creeping in. Yeah, that's exactly what he was. Free speech for the tabloids, and those crazy people that the tabloids have groomed to hate Meghan were celebrating this because they were happy that, if just in case, again, that the ruling would be reversed, or if Meghan tried to sue or whatever, that the tabloids would have power over her so that they can destroy her life and they can just claim free speech. They were celebrating, not realizing that it would affect them, not Meghan. Meghan's not in your country anymore. You know what I mean? This is taking away your rights. So it's unreal what they were trying to do, and how, because Meghan had the audacity to sue the Daily Fail. So, anyways, what are you saying, sir? Pedal. This is how far the tabloids have scrambled people's brains to convince people they need less rights than they have now. Yeah, I'm telling you, there were people on Twitter literally celebrating this. And I can't remember how many tweets I wrote, like, no, do you understand this is taking away your rights? Meghan's win gives you rights. You should be celebrating that she won. And people were. I mean, that is what grooming is. This is what tabloid grooming does to people. This is what propaganda does to people. And it was the most unreal thing that I have ever. I'm hoping it's just, some crazy people on Twitter and not the wider UK believes, or really bought into the, Dominic Raab thing. I'm hoping that that's the case, because that was madness to me. You're celebrating taking away your rights. Unreal. Heckwen says free speech and no accountability for government and their propaganda rags only. Yeah, that's what they're advocating. That is exactly what they're advocating. They can destroy a life and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's I don't get it, but that's brainwashing for you. So, Dolores says, hi Dolores. She says Charles is gonna do everything to try to get Harry back under their control. Yeah, even though Harry's here, every single thing they are going to do it, because again, it's control. They want to control. That's why they're so terrified of that book coming out, because they don't know what Harry and Meghan don't respond to them, so they don't really. They don't know what to expect, and that is making them very nervous. That's what the royal family is all about, control. Again, that's why Charles just hired the deputy editor for the Daily Mail to be his new press secretary. I still can't even, like, that. I can't even with that one. Joseph says, paying lip service and kissing the ring of the tabloids. Drink the Kool-Aid, everyone. Yep, that's definitely what they are doing. It is unreal to me that the king, the future king, has literally invited the tabloid into his home to live. Unreal to me. Absolutely unreal. And people are, there's been really no outrage about it. People seem to be okay with it. Unbelievable to me. And so, yeah, Omid has been doing great. I gotta tell you, Omid has been. I'm assuming you guys may have seen this article. You guys may have talked about it. Sure, Baron may have talked about it, and Duchess of Success may have talked about it. So I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But I just, Omid has just been doing great. He's just been calling a spade, and getting other royal, sycophantic royal reporters very angry at him speaking out and speaking truth to power. You know, Homemade wrote this article on Tuesday, and I wasn't on here, so I didn't get a chance to talk. I was on here, but it came out, I think, the day that I was doing it, and I didn't get a chance to do it, talk about it. But Ahmed says, do they think we're stupid? How the palace buries controversy and gossip and distraction. How the palace buries controversy with gossip and distraction. Do they think we're stupid? Yeah, they do. That's why they do what they do. They really think people are stupid. I mean, yes, they're working, their mindset is that they're back in, the 90s, and the internet didn't exist, or at least social media as it exists, that did not exist. But yeah, they really do think people are stupid. And unfortunately, there many are. That's why they keep doing this and getting away with it, because many people buy into this. Why do people read the Daily Mail? Why? This very same reason. That's how they treat their royalists, is that they're stupid. So the article says, you see, when it talks about, it started out with talking about how, just a few weeks ago there was a jubilee, and that big, extravaganza and stuff, and all that shine should have still been, over the royal family celebration, and all of that money they spent for all of that stuff and good press. And then slowly but sure, not even slowly, very quickly, the shine of that is gone with all of Prince Charles's, cash for access, cash for honors, cash in a bag, cash in a shopping bag, cash, you know, millions in a shopping bag and suitcase, and all of that mess that Prince Charles and him that has gotten himself into. And then we've gotten the sovereign grant with them overspending, and then spending $122.9 million, or 122.4 million pounds, and which is the last year it was what, 87, I think, 87 or 89 million. This year it jumped up to 102 million. Don't have no idea how they could do it. But so Scobie says, you see, when the Prince of Wales was forced to announce via his spokesman that he will never again accept plastic bags filled with 500-pound notes for his charity, one of his senior aides also briefed journalists with adorable, quote unquote, adorable details of the heir's first time meeting granddaughter Lilibet last month. Yes, one of the same private family moments royal sources had feared the Sussexes would leak. The irony. And I think for me, that is one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a very long time. Of all the disgusting things that Prince Charles has done, of all the despicable things and actions that he has committed, against Harry was a child. I mean, this has to be one of the most despicable, that this man, knowing what he has done, uses a 1-year-old baby and a 3-year-old little boy. I mean, they also briefed about, meeting Archie and him, Prince Charles, being in tears and all of that stuff, that they will use 2 babies as cover so that people will stop talking about the fact that he is unethical and corrupt. And I don't even know how you get to respect somebody like this. I don't know how Harry. I know he wants to work with his father. At least that's what he said in the Oprah Winfrey interview. We saw, like, when he did the interview with Hoda, that he didn't even want to talk about Prince Charles or William. So maybe that just got worse. And I could only imagine this made it worse, because I don't understand how you would, how you could respect a father who, or at least he's these babies' grandfather, that does this to a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, that use them as cover for his corrupt behavior. And it's unreal to me that again, Harry and Meghan have ended up with the two worst families. I don't think you could get any worse, you know. And going on, it says that last month, the Sovereign Grant report, the bottom paragraph, last month, the Sovereign Grant report showed that in 2021-2022, the royals cost taxpayers there's 102.4 million pounds or 122.9 million dollars, 17% more than the previous year. Their travel costs had rocketed from 1.3 million or pounds or 1.5 million dollars to 2.5 million pounds to 4.5 million pounds or 5.4 million dollars. Like literally skyrocketed, and we saw, like, they went from, like, what was it, 47 helicopter trips to like 177 helicopters. Like, it's unreal, you know, what they've done. And instead of taking responsibility, what do? Just as Omid said, they use what they normally do, use distraction, trickery, and all of that stuff, and throwing babies under a bus to hide themselves and to hide themselves behind. It is so just the image of that. It's kind of like a grown adult, but you coming, they're getting attacked in whatever way, and they pick up a baby and put the baby in front of themselves to get the abuse so they can hide behind the baby. And that's the image I see of Prince Charles. I don't understand how you respect this man, And again, from their spending, the sovereign grant, is said instead, instead of the headlines basically being about that, instead of the headlines being about there's overspending to 102.4 million pounds, instead their headlines focus on something else, a suspiciously timed update on the investigation into bullying claims against the Duchess of Sussex. Though reporting didn't include any examples of such behavior, I've also spoken to a long list of former staff, all of whom can't recall any moment that would fall under such description. And again, Omid talked about this, interviewing staff, also for his book, Finding Freedom and Finding Freedom 2. I don't remember what it's Finding. Is it Finding Freedom 2, the updated? I don't know what it's called. But anyway, and that's what he's saying. He's interviewed a long list of them, and none of them could remember anything close to anything bullying. And yet, this is what, and even, again, as we saw, they updated this thing again to hide behind, to use Meghan as a shield to take the bullets. And sorry to, maybe that's a bad, especially in light of what's happening now, but to take abuse, I should say. I don't want to upset anyone with that description, but to take the abuse so they can hide behind Meghan once again while putting her out there for the abuse. Again, this, oh gosh, and Scobie went on. He says, I'm just not sure who it is they think they're fooling. The public aren't stupid. And a brief look at social media shows that a large majority of individuals can see straight through the smoke and mirrors. It's why the royal family lies, the Sussex Squad trended high on Twitter for 4 days last week. And again, they are working, with a 90s model. And so they assume, with their smoke and mirrors of using Harry. But even people who are not squaddies are seeing through that mess. People are not fooled anymore. Yes, there are some that are. There are some royalists and trolls and royal family trolls are on Twitter, and some of their sycophantic press. But the majority of people aren't fooled by this mess. They can see right through it. And especially, the Meghan so-called bullying charges, like, nobody has ever said what she supposedly done. And again, this investigation was not about Meghan. It was not into bullying claims, and if they're true or not. It had nothing to do with that. It was about their HR department. That's what that was about, And Scobie even mentioned, did I even pull that in? I don't know if I pulled it in. Did I? No, I did not. Let's go back. We'll get to that in a second. But Scobie even mentioned, and I should have pulled that in. But he even went on to say, that same HR department, they're investigating HR department in terms of, say, their handling of claims of bullying. But you would think the same HR department, they would be investigating because Meghan said she went to HR and HR told her when she was having mental when she was in mental distress and was having suicidal ideation, she went to the very HR. And HR told her they couldn't help her. We know that it's true because they leaked it to Valentine Law of the Times, the same one who report on the bullying claims. So we know that that is true, and we know Meghan went there because they leaked it. And you would think they would investigate that, but of course they didn't investigate that, and if they did, they're not safe. But anyways, whew, again, I need to get that music. Making a hard right from this mess. But let me see what actually I've had this like really full screen. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before we move on to our hard right. um let's see. Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator, Cookies and Cream says, the racist and royal family don't view the Sussex's biracial children as being equal to the white and royal children. They don't care how, why, and when and why they are used. You're right. They don't see black and people of color as people. They just see them as things to be used when they need a cover. Unfortunately, they view Harry in pretty much the same way because he is considered a spare. So he's also there simply to provide cover. When they need to distract people from the fact that they're spending taxpayers' money using helicopters like a car, using a private jet like a car, they need cover. And unfortunately, that's what they do. And that's how they use, and again, using a baby. Oh my gosh, I can't even with that. Lydia says they're 370 strong. We're 370 strong and 183 likes. Please take the time to do a thumbs up. Thank you, Lydia. Yes. Please hit the thumbs up button and like this video and share this video. You can also clip this video, 1 minute of the video, and share that if you like as well. That little scissor will do that for you at the bottom. Thank you so much, Lydia, our awesome moderator. Let's see who else is chatting. Rory says, what goes around comes around. Light will shine truth and what is done in the dark. Absolutely. Yep. And that is why they hate the light. They always like, no, don't let the light shine in the royal family because the magic will be exposed. And it's like, there is no magic. There's only corruption. That's what they don't want the people to see. So, anyways, let's move up. Karen M says, Harry and Meghan has excellent work ethics. Harry from his mother and the military, and Meghan from her mother and being an actress with demanding roles on suit. Absolutely. I mean, it's unquestionable their work ethics. So, yeah. Annie says people are freezing, having problems getting funds to survive, and the unroyals don't give a. Well, we know that's fine. They are worried about Harry and Meghan. Make it make sense. Again, the royals are not here for people. They're not here for the citizens, or the subjects, I should say, of the UK. They're just not here for you at all. They're here for themselves. They're here for power. That's what they're here for. So anybody who makes the mistake of thinking that the royals care for them, I don't care if they come to your charity every day. They don't care about you. They simply don't care. Huckland says, Omi got the hashtag wrong though. Sorry. Okay. So maybe I don't know. I screenshotted it today. So maybe we should tell Omid to change that in the article, so that to make sure that when if someone clicks it from the article, they have I think it's the royal family lied as opposed to live, if I remember. I was tweeting it, but I don't remember. So yeah, so that way, if people click on it, they will get to the right hashtag. So yeah. Let's see. Going up a little bit, scrolling up. Gwendolyn says, hi Gwendolyn says, when Prince Charles walked Meghan partway down the aisle, he's done it for his own popularity stunt. That's what Charles does. Oh yeah. I mean, and it's funny when that happened, I even bought it. I actually liked him at the moment. I was like, oh, I love because I really did, and that was before I, became a sporty and I had no idea what was happening with the royal family. I hadn't paid attention before then. So obviously it was after the fact when during the baby shower that I started paying attention and then started, with the squad. But at the time when that happened, when I saw he walked her down the halfway down the aisle, and I really thought they had a great relationship. I really liked Prince Charles then. I had, I don't know necessarily that I forgiven him for Princess Diana, but I was just like, oh, okay, I was a little soft in the heart then, but only to find out what he is now. And again, that was all around the time when he was nominated to be the head of the Commonwealth. It's right around that time. So this was all part of that. And if you remember, Meghan's veil has all the countries of the Commonwealth on it. That was all part of that game. I always go back to hearing about Meghan wanting a small wedding, but the royal family sort of overruled them and had this big thing. And that was when Meghan said that whole spectacle wasn't for them, that their marriage was 3 days earlier. This is what I see. This is what it's like. This was all about Prince Charles and wanting to have that there, so the Commonwealth would be welcoming to him as its future leader. This had nothing to do with Harry and Meghan, and they. I'm glad that they understood that and had their own private ceremony. And so, even though it was a vow ceremony, that was the one that Meghan said was the most important to them. So I'm just happy they did that because, yeah, you're so right. This was all about Charles. It was not about Harry and Meghan. And, the whole spectacle, British people love these kind of spectacles. So there you go. Legs. Hi, Legs. Legs says, Petal, I agree. I never cared about them, but when I saw this racist in a favor of sexist mayor campaign, then I watched the royal family do nothing. That was when I started paying attention. Yeah, I think a lot of us came in around this time because it's like most people, we just didn't pay attention to the royal family. We know they were there, and I liked Harry and William at the time. Not I didn't really care. I always liked Harry more, but I didn't really care that much. It was like, oh, that's nice. They're Princess Diana's kids. That was as far as I went with anything. So it wasn't again until we started seeing this stuff, around the baby shower time. And it's like, whoa, what? So I think a lot of us came in around that time because we just didn't know. So yeah. Charles hired him to buy his silence. Very true. That definitely could be true. I think where you're talking about the deputy editor for the Mail on Sunday that they just hired Charles and Camilla just hired to be their press secretary. Unreal to me. But yeah, I totally believe that. I totally believe that's the buy silence because as we've seen, they have a lot of mess on Charles. They have a lot of stuff on him, and I don't know why you want to live that way. That people knowing that people have that stuff all over, hanging over your head. But apparently he wants to be king so much that he doesn't mind living in a prison. So there you go. Definitely buying silence. Teresa says, Petal, I bought it too. I thought Charles was turning over a new leaf. Gave him the benefit of a doubt for his perceived kindness to Meghan, but their silence as the UK press dragged Meghan. Yes, absolutely. And too, I was even bought when remember when I think he had when I think he held Meghan's mom's Mama Doria's. I think he held her arm or she held his arm, something like that. I don't remember. I have to look at the picture again. But he really was much of a gentleman to her, and I really bought it. I really, really did buy it at the time. And it's just like, gosh. Now looking back, it's like, ugh, gross. It's unreal how he played that. And I'm telling you, imagine all the things that this man has done that is just completely fake. But yeah, I was definitely drinking the Kool-Aid at that moment. Not anymore. That thing definitely turned sour in my stomach, so Thank you, Therese. Let's move on. So so this thing happened. Talking about so it's so funny. I love Wikipedia reminding us that this happened 37 years ago. But this happened Brighton Hotel bombing. And Grand Hotel in the UK was bombed. I think they were it was done by the IRA, provincial IRA. They were the perpetrators, and their target was, as you can see in yellow, was Margaret Thatcher, who was prime minister at the time. And I think a couple of her ministers, actually, she was fine, but a couple of her ministers were killed, a part of this bombing. And as you can see, it happened in October 12th, 1984. And so when I the reason that this, and just um, this book came to mind is because the whole thing with Harry and Meghan being in Wyoming. And I remember because I read this book, Queen Elizabeth, The Life of a Modern Monarchy, I think sometime last year, late last year, I think I read this book. I walk and, listen to audiobooks, and this was one of the books. Just because again, I didn't really know her. I know the periphery of Queen Elizabeth, but I didn't know much of her life because I just didn't pay attention. So I like reading it so I can get a little bit of perspective of really behind the scenes of who knows if all of it is true. I don't know, but is what they say. Anyways, one of the things I remember reading was Queen Elizabeth when a lot of the book actually is about Queen Elizabeth in the U.S. and all her U.S. rich, very rich, obviously, very rich U.S. friends. Her rich U.S. friends in Kentucky, her rich U.S. friends in Texas, like the Bush family, rich U.S. friends in New York, her rich U.S. friends in, I think it was Miami, and also her rich U.S. friends in Wyoming that she would go and stay with. And so when I heard the story about Harry, I remember that I remembered reading about the Queen in Wyoming. So I went back and I was like looking at it, and it's like, oh, and how this tied in is happens to be the day she arrived in Wyoming was exactly this day on October 12th, 1984, and she heard about the bombing, and she responded to it right right then. It's kind of weird how it's just like I remember that and realizing all of this thing. So a little bit about her stay in Wyoming. It says shortly before her departure on Friday, I'm just going to read a little bit so you have a gist of what this says. Shortly before her departure on Friday, October 12th, the same day of the bombing, the Queen learned that a powerful IRA bomb had exploded during the Conservative Party conference at the Grand Hotel in Brighton. Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister of the prime target of the terror attack, had escaped injury, but 5 died and 34 injured, including 2 of the Prime Minister's valued colleagues, Norman Tebbit and Government Chief Whip John Wakeham. Thatcher had been a hardline had taken a hardline against prisoner hunger strike in Northern Ireland 4 years earlier, and after the Conservatives increased their majority in June 1983 election, she had redoubled her resistance to the political demands of the IRA. The morning after the attack, she convened a conference at 9:30 as scheduled and gave a defiant speech announcing that all attempts to destroy the democracy by terrorism will fail. Elizabeth II immediately sent a message of sympathy and deep concern to the Prime Minister, and the Palace Secretary, Michael Shea at the time, denounced the bombing as a dreadful outrage. She arrived in Wyoming. Um, when she arrived in Wyoming, Thatcher, she called Thatcher, whose first words were, "Are you having a lovely time?" Elizabeth II support boost one's morale. Elizabeth II's support boosted one's morale, Thatcher recalled. The Queen then called Ronald Reagan, who shared his deep regret, a sentiment underlined by the earlier attempt on his own life. Despite the shadow of the events in England, her weekend in Wyoming gave the Queen her first total relaxation in nearly a month as she settled into Portchester into the Portchester two-story stone and the clapboard house with dramatic views of aspen glow and golden foliage of autumn aspen in the on the slopes of the Bighorn Mountains. Her only annoyance was the proliferation of the Secret Service agents who scared off the elk and the deer. She took 5 mile walks on the 4,000-acre property, had several picnics along with gooseneck and joining a morning shooting party, watching the dogs as the guns brought down pheasants, partridges, and goose. Meal was simple, American fare, such as rainbow trout, chicken pot pie, apple pie, ice cream, and cookies. She made a couple of public forays to the Bradford Brinton Museum and Western and Indian art in Bighorn and Main Street in the town of Sheridan, where she did a walkabout against the advice of the Secret Service, but to the delight of the 1,000 local residents who were gathered there to see her. And so it goes on about her time in Wyoming, but it's really incredible. I mean, I don't know, it was just for me when I heard about Harry and Meghan there. This is what it brought to mind. I was like, oh, are they staying at the Portchesters? I mean, are they staying on their ranch? And I don't know how many of you have been to Wyoming and to hear them describe, how big the property is and how, she would go for 5 mile walk on their property. And you know, Wyoming is an amazing place. I had the opportunity to be in Wyoming a few years ago, and it's one of the most amazing places. It's just this wide open. I mean, for miles and miles and miles, all you see is bare grass or whatever, and cows just grazing. It is the most amazing place. I was there to perform, and it's just it's amazing. So again, when I heard about this, I was like, oh, it kind of connects. And then I was thinking of, oh, maybe, because then I remember some of her friends also in Houston and in Texas, and I was like, oh, maybe that's why Harry. I don't know why Harry was there, but it all kind of sort of like try. I don't know, in my mind, it's like, maybe Harry and the Queen have been talking about her friends in the U.S. Again, she before she stopped flying around, she would visit the US, and all of her rich friends, that's where she would stay. And a lot of what she was here doing was getting horses, either purchasing horses or them checking out the horses or going, to horse races and all of those things. And it's kind of the same thing Harry is into. We saw him in Texas. He was doing, more bull riding there. But, we saw him doing polo, and he is this is his thing too. It's like a horse guy. And so it really, I don't know, it kind of tracks for me when I saw this. And, again, I'm not going to be posting pictures and all of that stuff. But, that's what I thought of when and just I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to upload. For those of you, I don't know how many of you have been to Wyoming, but it is one of the most amazing places. And hang on one second, I'm going to remove this and take it out of here so I can upload, because this and that was just too much to upload. So I'm going to just give me 1 second while I upload this. So for those of us who has never been to Wyoming, I'll just give you, oh no, hang on 1 second, let that go out. I want to give you just a little bit of a taste of Wyoming, if this will allow me to. Hopefully it's not too big a file. Okay, it's uploading. So, oh no, I think I just uploaded the wrong thing. Oh dear. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Remove from the video. Remove. Yeah, that's wrong. Okay, let's try this again. Hang on. I could try to upload things live on the air. Oh man, it's saying that it's too large. Shoot. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I am going to put that in the show notes, in our community page. I was trying. Oh, that is unfortunate. Um, very, very unfortunate that I cannot upload this page because they're saying it's too large. I guess my pictures are too much, and this could only handle 25 gigs, and I guess it's too large. So my little showcase that I was going to show you, I'm now going to put that, and if I could figure out a way to do it the next time. But one of the beautiful things about Wyoming, and I think I actually, I honestly, when I was there, I think I saw one other black person, but they were so welcoming, and we were there performing, and we were performing this play called A Piece of My Heart. And the thing about the play is about women who served in Vietnam during the war. And the Wyoming has an incredible veterans community. That's the reason why they invited us to come to do the show there. And so we were able to be there and perform that play for veterans. We performed at it's in Sheridan, the same place where the Queen was. There's the YO Theater right there on Main Street where she did her walkabout. And so there's the YO Theater that's like the main theater there. And so we were able to perform that there for a lot of vets. And it was the most amazing thing because we did when we did a talk back, most of the people that stayed back were family of vets and family of the vets. And this I would never forget. One of the men who were there, he was sharing with us. We were doing the talk back, talking about the play and what people got out of it and all of that. And so it was just a lot of tears because again, it's from recalling Vietnam. And one of the men there, his nephew, had committed suicide a week before. He was in Iraq, and he was part of the Iraq. Wait, no, yeah, he was part of the Iraq war, and he committed suicide the week before, and it was just oh my goodness, it broke my heart. Because there was just a lot of tears. And so we were able to perform there. We were able to perform for, we went to one of the veterans, I guess a hospital. There were still people there who were suffering for the effects of Agent Orange, if you know that was from the Vietnam War. We also performed at a school, and what we didn't know at the time was for the local government until after they were introducing themselves, and it was like, oh yes, I'm Senator this, and we were like, oh, we had no idea who we were performing for, and a lot of them are vets. And it was the most amazing community of veterans that is in Wyoming. So I could also see why Harry was there. If what I don't know if that was one of the reasons that he was there, but I just know if he spent any time there at all, and if he know, I'm sure he does because it's a thing out there. Apart from everybody wearing apart from everyone wearing cowboy hats. I mean, there are like real cowboys there, and so it is just I just it's was one of the most amazing experiences, and it's a place where I've been. I mean, when you're there, you just about all of them. It feels like are veterans, and so I just I it just when I saw that it brought back so many amazing memories, but also sad memories. But it just but just the embrace and how much they value and just embrace the veteran community in Wyoming. It is just amazing. Plus, you have great music. I mean, we went to this honky tonk bar, I guess, where you just bring an instrument and play, and everybody just sit and listen. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. If you've never been to Wyoming, so I'll post the pictures in our community page, or the next time I do a podcast, I'll break up the slides so that way it's not too broad. I'm so sad that I couldn't load it. It's trying to do things on live, and it's just it's just again, it just brought back like, oh, Harry isn't doing anything that hasn't been done before by the royal family. They've been out there to enjoying Wyoming too, and I think there's this link between him and the Queen that that they seem to have. So it's just I just thought it was kind of interesting. But anyway, that's it. My slice is gonna be the end, but that's all I got to talk about. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Um, Sylvia says, when he walked Megan down the aisle, I only gave him the benefit of the doubt. I remember what he did to Diana. He is about intrigue. Absolutely. Absolutely. And distraction too. And at least you didn't fall for it. I certainly did. I drank the Kool-Aid at the time, so there. I did. So let's see. Let's see who else is chatting before we end. Cal Austin says, interesting coincidence, but why would Meghan and Harry have to rely on QE2 friends who are probably dead? H&M have, excuse me, so many friends in their own generation who live else everywhere. It is beautiful. And again, I mean, when I said that, I don't know that that's that they had, that was a connection for there. I don't know. It's just something that reminded me of, oh, the Queen spent time there as well. And I was wondering if they went, if they connected and, or maybe stayed at the same place. I don't know that. I have no idea other than the little thing that I saw the other day. And again, I'm not posting pictures or anything. I know nothing, no details or anything, nor do I really want to, about them being there. But seeing that there, it reminded me that the Queen also spent time there and had a great time in Wyoming. So, and why I wanted to show the pictures also is so that you can see the land in Wyoming. Again, it is just, it's massive. It is amazing. So I'll post it at the end in our community page. And or I'll try to get it on the next podcast so you can see. I loved it. It is. I mean, we were staying when we were there. We were literally staying at the top of a mountain in a honest to God log cabin in the middle of winter. It was amazing. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And watching deer come up to the house or the cabin and just sort of like leap over the fence. It was like unreal. It's like you don't even like wow, I don't think I've even seen a deer before. Then like just do that. So it was just yeah. But again, it is an interesting coincidence. I don't know if there's any connection. It just reminded me of that. So Jessica says, yes, Wyoming is also big sky country, spacious and very beautiful. I love it. Absolutely. It is definitely big sky country. It is just, it's unreal. How many, and again, people don't just, when they buy land out there, it's not just like hundreds of acres, thousands of acres. And then you have tons of cows roaming that they just basically, rear these cows to slaughter them. Really, that's how they eat. That's what they sell to the country. I guess it is just. I mean, it opened my eyes a lot, especially as someone who's a vegan is like, oh, I didn't know all those things. So, Lydia says Tyler Perry does have a home in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Maybe visiting him. Hey, there you go. That's the thing too. I think a lot of celebrities now have homes in Wyoming because again, I mean, if I had the money, I would have a home there too. It is a great place to, because it's so wide open where you have kids and stuff and you want them to just be about the land and run about bare feet and not have to worry about anything. Perfect place. It is awesome there. You know, again, as a black person, I was like one of two, but they were so loving and welcoming. It didn't matter, at least, I was visiting, and we were performers. So I guess that, but if there's not a lot of us, but the people that I met and the people that we were associated with, and throughout the entire time I was there, were just the most wonderful, welcoming people. They were wonderful. So let's see. um, let's see. Rolling up here. Um, Elaine, oh, she's talking to Vivian. I need to read this before I click on things. Vivian, well, we're exposing what you said, Elaine. Vivian, it's not going to happen. The Queen doesn't care how much the people are struggling. I heard, honestly, I don't care, think any one of them care. They don't. If you care, I mean, you have palaces that are just sitting there. You have tons of money that you can help, and you know, to the point where I would never get over Marcus Rashford having to shame MPs into helping kids to get lunch money, and the royal family just sat there doing nothing and not helping at all. They're not even mentioning it. So no, they don't care at all. So sad to say, but they don't. Um, let's see. Moving down further. Let's see. Lex says, are there any headlines in the UK highlighting Baldilock's four homes? I feel that all of the news is given to distract from the royal standard. They will never talk about it. I mean, the only people that would ever talk about the fact that Prince William has four homes is Sussex Squad. No, and maybe Omid would mention it because Omid is now just he does not care. He's just calling them out and just speaking up about things, but they would never mention it because that doesn't fit the narrative at all. Because they want to have the narrative of him being the everyday person. That guy on the street selling that paper that he was doing. That's the narrative they want. So they're not going to mention the four homes at all. The only people again who will ever mention that is Sussex Squad. So yeah, we are the only ones. Unfortunately, that's all we got. Um, so let's see a couple more before we head out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know I haven't been here. I've been on here in the last couple of days. I've been teaching, and can I just say, if anyone in here are teachers, I bow down to you. I absolutely bow down to you. I've taught before, but I taught really little kids. I've never taught teenagers before, and they're wonderful, but it is a lot. And my thing when I'm teaching is only 4 hours and only 3 days, and you guys have them 5 days all day. And I'm telling you, I'm like bowing in your presence because you are amazing. I just want you to know that because mine is like, a few weeks, but yours is like a whole semester. And I'm just like, you all are amazing. So let me just put that out there. I am like, I'm a mess and I just started. Like, I'm like 3 days and I'm already a mess. So I can't imagine. So yes, no, they don't. They don't get paid enough. They do not. You do not. And a lot of times, teachers, you also have to. You're also the ones picking up the bill when you have to buy supplies to get supplies for your kids. So I'm telling you, I bow down to you. You are amazing. So let's see. Anna says, I wish those that love the British royal family one day will snap out of it and figure out that they are robbing them. That they're robbing them. Wake up, people! The thugs are taking you in. I hope so, Anna. I really, really, really hope so. I hope that, but there's just this apathy. I mean, they don't seem to mind. I mean, the fact that there was a 17% rise in the spending bill of the royal family, and there's been no outrage at all, and people just rather be talking about some fake bullying charges, and nobody seems to care. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I guess y'all don't care. I mean, the royal family has already brainwashed them into thinking that they're only giving them what is it, a £1, I guess, whatever it is they each person provides, not realizing that no, what you're actually seeing, what the sovereign grant covers is simply what they want you to see. What is not in the sovereign grant is their security. According to the Republic, that is the Republic group that who've been doing, who have they had their come to Jesus moment after Prince Harry had to slap them, and they have been doing a great job. But they have been reporting what the actual bill is, probably over, £345 million, because when you add in security, which they do not put on the sovereign grant, that's more closer to where you are with what the royal family actually spends per year. So even this, 102.4 million pounds, that is not that's just what they want you to see, and that's bad. So imagine when if they actually put the security in there. So which they don't, which they always say, they can't put it in because it will compromise security, right? What they don't want is so the actual amount that their people are actually paying. So yeah, again, light coming into the royal family. But anyways, okay, let's do one more, and you guys have places to go, people to see, things to do with your lives. Let's see one more, and then we will get out of here. Thank you guys. Oh, actually, Emerald says, my daughter is a school principal, so I tip my hat to all teachers. Yes. Oh, please let her know that I bow down to her for what they've done and what they continue to do to our kids. So, not to, but for our kids. So, yes, absolutely. Much respect to them. Karen M says they need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Yes. Find another drink. Stay away from the Kool-Aid. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me and on this, Shutter Island, this Shutter Island Fest podcast. And I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you sticking with me through my internet. That was just so weird that just went down for some strange reason. But if you can, at the bottom you can see the subscribe button. If you haven't already, please click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. Click the share button, share this video. There's a little sizzle there. If you want to clip the video, you can clip up to a minute and share that. It'll link back to the video if the person wants to or people want to watch it. You can also, when you click subscribe, click the notification button so that you know when we drop a video. That would be really awesome. And I know Lydia will remind everyone. Lydia has been reminding everyone to hit the like button. Please like us. And you can also support us by joining the channel. Where you support us financially monthly, become a part of the 2 Cents Crew. Yes. Thank you so much for all of you who have. You can also support us by, we do have a merchandise as well. Maybe I can, here we go, merchandise. There we go. Please, the link will be in the show notes at the end. Give me like about 10 minutes to get all of that in. I did this so fast, I didn't even get a chance to put in the show notes. So in 10 minutes or in any other video, you'll see the link to the merchandise. So thank you again so much. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow and talking about, who knows, our faves are again. They are under a tree, other than Harry dealing with them with his security stuff in the UK. They are under a tree, enjoying themselves, whatever they're doing, and I am just happy for that. As we wait for archetypes. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Lydia. Thank you so much, Karen M. Cookies and Cream. Wait a minute, I did not see Church Nelly today. Church Nelly playing hooky. All right, we'll get her next time. But thank you so much to our awesome moderators who are doing such an incredible job, just keeping the chat wonderful and clean and just a safe space for us. I will forever be grateful for what you do. Thank you guys. Thank you to all of you, our amazing squaddies who constantly on the daily fight back against the negative narrative about our faves and really expose the nonsense that's going on Shutter Island. We are amazing. So I hope you know that. You are amazing. We are amazing. Our community is amazing. And I love you guys. And we're going to jet out of here with some music, some back into the space, into space. I always get that wrong. Into space music. And yep, we are here. And until tomorrow, guys, I will see you then. Bye. Have a great night.